So hey everyone, and welcome back to some more Fate Grand Order. I'm here with a video I've been wanting to do for a while now, and this will be a video talking about certain servants and things I would like to see change with them. And this will be the very first one, and it is Boudica. She is a character I really like as a person, and how she is, you know, with this sisterly kind of thing going on, and she looks hot as fox and all this, but as a usable servant, I would place her very far down, because she doesn't have much of a thing that makes her really stand out as a servant. And I wanted to go through some of these things, and things I would hope DV one day would change, which is most likely not, but that I would love to see changed and all that. And of course, this is just my opinions, and of course, if you think she is the best servant out there, you are free to think so. And if you have her to grade level 100, kudos to you, because that is actually fucking awesome. But I want to go through what I feel is necessary to make Boudica a more rounded servant. Well, not rounded, because she was already pretty round, if you know what I mean. Wink wink nudge nudge on that. But generally make her a more appealing and usable servant. I want to go through this a little bit with this video. The first thing I want to go through, obviously, is the art of this. I must say, when I first saw this, when I first got Boudica, when I started to play this game, I was super confused, because I literally thought it was a bikini suit, you know, bikini summer splash or something like that. And I still think this is actually not really good. But at least I think it turns much better as she grails up and get more outfit and more. Well, it looks much better simply as that. So I'm happy for that, and I'm a bit sad though that she getting this kind of art, but that doesn't mean that we should hate on the artist. From my understanding, the artist got a lot of hate for that, and that is not cool. I mean, if anything, we should complain to the company, because they are the ones that accepted it and said like, yes, we're gonna use this. After all, they are the ones that holding hands and, well, holding the reins of this entire thing. But yes, the art, I mean, it could be a nice change there, but in general, I'm happy how it turns out later on, at least. Though I guess you could say that, considering that she's a character that is evolving much about her hatred to Rome, she has a very bright and cheerful kind of art to it. It would kind of fit with a bit darker maybe, but otherwise I think it's pretty nice, and at least the final art and all that is pretty nice, and you know, it's happy and cheerful. I like that. And then we go to her skills. I'm gonna go through them a little bit, because I think they need a major rework to be interesting. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna start with Andraste's Protection A. This is an team art buff. At level 1 it gives, I actually have the numbers here, I'm reading up the numbers. At level 1 you get 10% to your arts, the entire party, for 3 rounds. At level 10 you get 20% to entire team, and it's a 5 rounds cooldown for 3 rounds, it's active and all that, so that is pretty good. But the thing is that I can see as a problem, if you have a Mozart, I'm just tossing this out, Mozart at level 1 grants a 22% buff. Now this is only for 1 round and not 3. Still though, the amount of buff you get from a Mozart, I think is actually much better. And then we're not gonna mention Tamamo. At her lowest level, she grants a 20% buff. But now she's a 5-star, so I don't want to pull that the comparison between a 5-star and 3-star, because a 5-star will always be better. But the thing is now that Mozart is a 1-star, and now of course he's a caster and all that, but from my understanding and from what I see as Boudica, she is supposed to be a support kind of servant, because she's definitely not one that is focused on attacking and all of that. And that is why I would like to see a little buff to it, you know, Andraste Protection A, because it's an A rank as well. So I would like to see, maybe buff it up with a few % or something like that. It doesn't need to be a major thing, I would just like to see it be more viable as a good support ability. And then we have Battle Continuation. It's a simple Battle Continuation, it's a Guts ability. But I would personally like to see it different as well. I would like to see it as a different ability. Now of course this works as well. It can be the same, but I'm just tossing out an idea I thought would be quite cool with it. and it would be like a battle continuation army style kind of thing, that she is represented as the Queen of Victory, and using this Guts ability, it will only be active for 1 round, but it affects all party members that is active on the field. So if you notice a big AoE attack is coming, you can activate this, giving a Guts ability for 1 round to everyone in the field, and give them, well, resurrect them and all that. I think that could be a nice thing, making her definitely a more appealing AoE servant, well, AoE servant, and AoE support in general. I'm just tossing it, but otherwise, battle continuation is always good, has an survivability after all. And then we have the real sham of ability. I'm just saying that right away. Vow of the Goddess. Apply Roman special attack for yourself. While the numbers, when you look at the numbers of it, it actually is impressive. At level 1, you get 40% extra damage. And at level 10, 60%. For 3 turns. And at level 10, it's for 5 rounds cooldown. And you get it up for 3 turns. So you get it literally almost up to all time. But here comes the gripe of this. As it said, apply only to Romans. You only get this buff against Romans. And how many Roman servants are there? We have Spartacus, we have Caligula, we have Caesar, Romulus, 3 different Neros, I think. I think that is pretty much it, right? I might miss someone, but the thing is, out of this, all of these, well, 7 servants, she's only effective against 3 of them. Which is Spartacus and Caligula because they are berserkers, and Castor Nero because she is a rider. That is actually extremely it's ridiculous actually. And yes, I do know there are some enemies, random enemies that count as Romans. There are Roman soldiers and stuff like that. But of all these, I haven't seen any Roman soldier enemy that is a caster. They are literally all like archers, lancers, and sabers. Possible maybe there's a berserker out there, but I haven't seen that when I think about it. Maybe the pirates count as that as well, but my point is, it's an extreme niche ability, literally aimed to 3 different characters, 3 different enemy servants, and it's stupid. That is blatantly, I'm just saying it. If you hate me for saying it, but that is my opinion. That is stupid. This is ridiculous. I mean, I understand it's thematically right, that because of her hatred against the Romans and all of that she wants to fight them, but that is just useless. Maybe not the most useless, because it can be used and effectively increase damage, but the thing is, with Boudica, she hit like a wet noodle. That's the fact. She have good HP, because she is more a bit tanky support and all that, but her ability is useless. It's like giving a sword to a toddler. Sure, you can do damage, but it's not much damage. It's kind of useless, but hey, it's cute to see the toddler swinging a sword, and hopefully it doesn't kill her itself. But that is the thing I find is really sad. And instead, I personally would see this ability turn to a passive. You know, just throw it in here as a class skill. You know, in here. Throw it in there and say it like, she get plus 5% damage on Romans. Then it's there. We don't really give a fuck about it, but it's there as a nice little thing to make her being this, you know, she do damage against the Romans and stuff like that. That's what I feel would do more good, and then change this vow to the goddess into like a charisma, you know, increase attack for the rest of the team, you know, or maybe even better, give it her all attack and defense. Because she's supposed to be a victorious, the goddess of victorious victory and all of that shit, and make that a thing. Because as this stand now, this ability is probably one of the most useless. I don't want to say the most useless, but it is one of the most useless abilities out there. It's so extremely niche that it is actually just fucking sad, to be honest. And it's literally, when you're using Boudica, you literally is playing with only two abilities. And that's a protection and battle continuation. Because Vow of the Goddess is so rare for it to use. And when you can use it, most of the enemies is not even weak against it. I mean, since they are like most knight classes, they don't take extra damage regardless of that. And she was already hitting very weak. That's the thing I feel is so sad. I mean, if they rework that ability, that would be fucking great. But I think DV is more like, as soon as they release a character, they don't really give too much shit about their abilities, you know? I don't say that should make her like insane OP, like massive buffs, but make her more viable as a support servant, a support character that helps the team. As she's now, she's so extreme niche, it's actually just sad. And I don't think I've seen a moment where she actually would shine without you using other servants, you know? When it comes to riders, I mean, I have Blackbeard, you know that, guys. And I'm using Blackbeard for literally everything. And he's 10 times better support than Boudica, because he gives MP strength, he can heal, and stuff like that. That is great stuff. But then we have these abilities, and she's supposed to be a support kind of tanky, you know, rough, tough and all that, but she doesn't feel that role well, which you can't use like Mozart, you can use Anderson and other. I mean, sure, she gets an art boost, which is great, but even that one is so very weak compared to so many other servants that I think it would need a buff to make it more appealing. And it's up to DV to change these things, because if you want to make a character popular and more interesting than having 95 saber faces and Sakura faces and Rin faces and all of that, they need to make like Boudica stand out. And I think she is an amazing character. She have sweet things to her and all of that. But they need to change and make that more appealing. And also I want to take up about her MP, because in fact it is actually kind of sad, you know? Now when I have this in, you know, I did the rank up quest and all that. So you do get a free turn attack buff. That is really nice actually. It's not the most useless MP, definitely not. With a zombie team, she stands out rather good. I mean, well, not really rather good, but she's increasing defense and all of that. The thing is, now I'm gonna go with one charge. You don't overcharge her MP. Let's say you use it right away. Then you get, for 3 turns, 10% extra defense. And for one first turn, you get 20 added defense. And you do get 20 added attack as well when you have it ranked up. And that is quite nice. But the thing is, it's only for one round you're getting this massive extra defense. You know what is funny? Mashu, with her basic ability, the Honorable Wall of Snowflakes, give you, when you're ranked up through the King Osmandias stage in Camelot, you get at level 1 15% as a basic ability defense. Just there, Mashu is already way better than Boudica's. And sure, Boudica MP gives more the first round, but the thing is with that, you need to charge it up. It takes time to charge it up, you know? That's the thing. I would like to see them give it a buff as well, you know? To make it more viable, more interesting, because as it is now, it feels so weak. And but like, why would I use Boudica when I can use Mashu instead? Why should I use her art support when I can use a Tamamo or even a Mozart instead, or a Waver or something like that? Now I know Waver and Tamamo is more rare, but you know what I mean. I think most of us have friends that at least have it on support and stuff like that. And that's the thing that I think is sad. I really hope DV will make these changes to make her more appealing as a servant. Make that happen, DV, please. I want Boudica to be usable and good as any servant out there. I think she deserves that. And the thing is, of course, if you level her up and all that, you can use her. I mean, that is a good thing. No servant is completely useless. You can still use them, you know? The thing is that they are not as useful as others, so it's easy to be like, why would I use Boudica when I can use like Martha or Blackbeard or anything rider instead than her? And that's a bit sad, because it's really fun to mix up teams and all of that and use different servants. I like to use that myself. I recently started to use Darius more and Fergus. I think that is really fun to use different servants and all that, but Boudica, I never really get to do that, because I just see her first ability, Wow the God, and be like, dude, that is crap. It's sad, you know? I really want her to shine and to get the love she deserves. So I hope DV will go through and make that change, because it's nothing wrong with it. If they like going back and saying like, yeah, this was not a good thing, we change it and put this Vow of the Goddess as a passive and give her a new skill. That is, I would be so happy for that. You know, it's nothing wrong with going back and check out like, oh yeah, this ability is not so good, let's make some changes. And that's what I hope they will do. So that is my thought. I want them to give her little buffs. It doesn't need to be anything major on her Andraste's protection or battle continuation. They can leave it as they are. But Vow of the Goddess definitely need to be gone and be changed to something more useful. And change it to a passive instead. Then you still have this thematical thing with her that she hates romance, without hampering her as a servant to use in the game. Because that is what this is. It's a game. You know, we are supposed to enjoy this and be able to use all the servants in one way or another and not under extremely niche times. Sure, there are servants we use in certain specific moments, yes, that is natural, but I don't think anyone is so extreme niche as Boudica is, and it's just a bad niche, in my opinion. So yes, I really hope they do that in the future and really give Boudica some love. I think she deserves it. She's a sweet character and really deserves to get an update, like many other servants. And at least I do also hope she get an Avenger Boudica. That she also deserves. But yes, that will be for my thoughts in this video. Things I think they should do with Boudica in regards of changes and updates to make her more viable, more interesting, and more simply usable servant. And I don't say she's completely worthless. You can still use her, and if you use her, awesome of you to give her the love she deserves. I need to use her a bit more, but at the same time I'm feeling it is hampering you when you're playing and using her in the team. And of course you can probably find some ways to utilize her very well, but as it is right now, I think she deserves a little bit of change. So that is me though. Thank you for watching, see you later on, and have a continued super great day.